Zach?
I would just like to make a comment that I don't, although I would be in favor of removing prevailing wage from the convention center, it is a bit, it's not looking at the elephant in the room. So if we are not removing prevailing wage from the entire purchasing and procurement process, we are kind of, we're not looking at the big picture of what's going on in here. The prevailing wage is a burden on the county administrative staff in monitoring prevailing wage on future work. The administration of prevailing wage on the convention center, that's going to fall on the counties. They are the city of Muskegon is the one who is going to have to administrate and bear that burden, not the county. However, the cost of that convention center is going up. I suspect that with those soil conditions, we're going to be in excess of $20 million, not 17. And then we're going to have a funding issue when we can actually come reasonably close to making that up on the convention center by repealing the prevailing wage. But the big picture of this process is the next 10 years that the county is going to have to administrate and monitor prevailing wage or Davis-Bacon work for the next 10 years. If we don't remove this from the entire policy, we've already heard that it's illegal. The state has adopted right to work. The entire thing needs to be evacuated out of or removed from the purchasing and procurement process, not just the convention center.
I believe Marcia has made a motion.
No, she didn't make a motion. She
But I
just
can.
could, yes, you can.
Madam Chairman, remember too that a motion to table brings the matter back fairly quickly. If you want to postpone consideration until something else happens, that would be the vehicle to do it. And you-
Okay, I make a motion to postpone this decision until we get most information from both sides and have time to evaluate the ramifications.
I will support that.
We have a motion and support. I don't think there's any discussion on this, is there?
Motion to table you don't discuss. You can discuss the motion to postpone. But we talked about this an awful lot. I would just encourage you to take a vote. Decide how you want to move forward or talk about it.
Commissioner Nash.
I just think the motion might be more appropriate because we talk about having a workshop, which was also a surprise, and we left there with a lot of confusion. We didn't really have a sound, concrete answer. We have an attorney that comes in today, and we don't have a solid, concrete answer. We have an opinion. We had an opinion from ABC, we got an opinion from attorney. We got lots of opinions. But I don't think we've really researched this enough to understand the ramifications. I remember getting another report from someone on the right about how Indiana had the problem with removing prevailing wage and it hasn't improved a thing. It's actually costing them more. And so I'm trying to figure out what are we doing moving so fast and jumping on something so quick without really looking at this thing. We're not talking about a couple of contractors fussing, we're talking about people's lives. There's a lot of people that depend on these different things. Not only that, but we have to understand the history and how all these different wages have an impact on people's natural income. If it weren't for unions and union wages most of the time, you wouldn't even have the prices that you got now. And people are dying trying to work for $10 an hour right now. And what we're trying to do is move this all the way back and take away all the wages from people when we really need wages to go up. We really need wages to go up. And it's sad that we're playing these games, you know.
Commissioner Skolnick?
And I feel, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
And I don't feel like, I'm really upset because we've got a commissioner who has a stake in this, personal stake, and I think that's a conflict. And I think that we're overlooking that because of whatever personal opinions we have. But I'm trying to look at this because it affects people's lives, and that's important. It's not about how much I'm gonna get or whatever else. I don't have a company at stake, but I do listen at the people on the ground floor. And I understand people on that one side that believes that, and I understand people on the other side also. But I think over history's time, this has been really too important. And for us to just go ahead and snatch that and repeal it based on opinions that are like being on the ocean in a storm, they're back and forth all over the place. We saw that with the reports that we got. And we also saw that today. So, because there's some things there that might still be advantageous for us legally.
Madam Chair?
Commissioner, just one moment, please. Commissioner Skolnick.
Well, I just wanted to say that we're one of the very few counties out of the 83 counties in the state of Michigan that still has prevailing wage. And it's time for us to move into the 21st century and get with the do business like most other counties. Ottawa doesn't have it, Kent County doesn't have it, counties north of us don't have it. Why do we still have it? It doesn't make any sense. And we also have to realize that we are representing people who voted us here and to try to save money for them. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Charles. The thing is that you're not going to get people to work on these projects for $10 an hour. I mean, it's the market dictates how much people get paid, and I can't fix that. I don't control the market. But I don't think that our taxpayers put us here to pay more money for projects.
I would call for the question.
I actually would like to,
As a motion, question.
He called the question.
I think I had it
As long
first.
as long as people still want to discuss it, it's still open for discussion.
So I guess I'd like to ask Commissioner Nash, which commissioner has a stake in this?
I just said Commissioner Laring.
Okay, can you
Yes.
tell me what you think that stake is?
The stake is who you're working for.
Who am I working for? I'm working for the taxpayers of Muskegon County.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
I'd like to call for the question.
All right. Madam Clerk, could we have a roll call, please?
Motion to postpone
Motion
action.
to postpone.
Commissioner Skolnick.
No.
Commissioner Snyder.
No.
Commissioner Wilkins. No. Vice Chair Foster.
No.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yes.
Commissioner Laring.
No.
Commissioner Mahoney.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Because my husband and I have a non-union construction company, I will abstain.
The vote is 3 yes, 6 no, and 1 abstention.
And that motion fails.
5. That's 10.
6, 7, 8, 9.
That's 10. That's too many.
The motion fails.
5, 3,
The motion to postpone fails. Now we have the motion by Commissioner Snyder on the floor. Could we have a roll call on that, please? And that motion is, Jeannie, did you write that down when he said it this time, last time?
Prevailing wage requirement with respect to the convention center and the county participation.
Did you have convention center in there?
Yes, he did,
Yes.
in the last, and we have a motion, and could I have a roll call on that, please, Madam Clerk?
Hold for a second. That was not the wording in the first motion.
Right, but you changed it, because we didn't have a second, and they wanted
Changed it.
clarification. Commissioner Snyder did.
I seconded it.
He's changed his motion to, because they didn't have it written down to make it exactly the way he wanted it, and there was a second. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
No.
Commissioner Mahoney.
No.
Commissioner Laring.
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
No.
Vice Chair Foster.
Yes.
And Chairman Hughes.
I abstain.
5 yes and 3 no and 1 abstention.
That motion carries.
I move we adjourn.
We have a motion, and the motion is seconded. We are adjourned.